Hello fellow aviators, welcome back to the channel to discuss all things aviation. Angelo to be here welcoming you back. Today we are discussing a very important topic, how to choose a flight school. We've talked about some of the key things to look out for in the past, but I felt there's a need to revisit that topic and broaden the discussion on what are the key things to look out for when you choose your flight school. Number one on your list is location. Where is the airfield located? The school that you're going to be using. In what airfield is it located? Is it in an unmanned airfield? Is it in a controlled airfield? You will notice that while you can gain sufficient, confidence and practice to fly in an unmanned airfield, because most of them are relatively not as busy as controlled airfields. But you're also missing out on early exposure to ATC procedures that you would get if you're in a controlled airfield. So both situations actually have their advantages. The smaller uncontrolled airfield has the advantage of a leaner traffic compared to a heavy traffic scenario in a controlled airfield. But the benefit there is you very early in your training you get exposed to getting clearances before you take off, communicating with ATC, communicating with the tower, which skills you will need in the future. So the choice between a manned airfield and an unmanned airfield must be made by yourself when you choose your flying school with those parameters in mind. Still on location, the question of whether your school is the school of your choice is an inland school or a coastal school will matter. Precisely because this will mean your school is in a different city. If it's in the coastal area, then it's a different city from a city that's inland. So the culture, the lifestyle of those cities will matter. But quite importantly, what else will matter is the fact that for your coastal school, you have to contend with weather. While the atmospheric conditions are good for performance of your aircraft and for your flight training, and those crosswinds will actually test your ability to actually land an aircraft in crosswind conditions, and you'll get more of this in the coastal in a coastal school because of the weather patterns there. But also you might have to prepare yourself for more frequent bad weather in the coastal side than you would in the inland side because of the temperature variations there, because of the weather conditions there. You will find low-lying fog, you will find low-lying clouds most often, which will inhibit your ability to actually take off until you are instrument rated. So the wind conditions, the visibility conditions, all those considerations for instrument flying, all those considerations for bad weather flying or good weather flying, you will find they occur most frequently in the coastal side than they would in an inland school. So those are your choices. But even though it looks like your inland school might give you more good weather than your coastal school, the other consideration would be that it's not necessarily a bad thing to be exposed to winds that are coming towards the threshold of the performance of your aircraft, because you will need to skill yourself in flying in adverse weather, and that coastal weather might give you a practice run as you go through your training. So, but that having been said, whether your school is inland or coastal will matter, and you have to factor it into the decision-making process when you choose your flying school. The last point on location relates to students who want to choose a flight school outside their country of origin. For instance, if a student is coming into South Africa to train in South Africa from abroad, then location matters for them. Location actually is the entire country for such a student. Now, there will be visa requirements. Those have to be factored into the equation. You need to know what visa requirements you need to comply with before the South African government can grant you a visa to enter South Africa and study aviation there. So this you need to do while you're still sitting in your home country, calculating and finding information on what it is that you need to do beforehand and how much it's going to cost you and how long it's going to take. Now, for such a student, location also means that they need to not only choose the country but also choose the city they're going to go into. Once they've chosen that, the country and the city that they're going to be training in, it's important for them to understand the culture of the people that live there, and not come in and not be able to intermingle or coexist with the people that they find there. So the culture of the people in whose place they're going to be living in is very, very important for that student's success as they train towards becoming a pilot. Safety is another consideration. The city that you eventually choose, how safe is it? Go online, find the reviews on whether you're going to the meta capital of the world or you're going to a relatively safe space. And whatever decision you take at the end of the day, you need to have that information in hand so that you can prepare for your life, your new life ahead as a trainee in a different country, in a different city. The next point is the choice between modular versus integrated approach. The integrated approach gives you a fixed schedule. You train from beginning to the end and you come out with your qualification at the end, combined like that. But the modular approach allows you to do it piecemeal. You start with your student pilot license, work towards your PPL, and then work towards your CPL, and then work towards your ATPL, and also throw in those ratings as you go along. It's more of a pay-as-you-go type of situation. So you need to know whether your school can offer you the modular, the school can offer you the approach that actually works with your schedule. Because with the modular approach, you fit everything around your flight training. You fit your work schedule there, you fit your family schedule there, you fit your school schedule there. You can perhaps say fly once a week, or fly on weekends, or fly after work. Yeah, it works like that. So you need to know before you choose a school that it can afford you the type of approach that you want to take towards your flight training. You don't want to go to a school that is strictly, focusing on a comprehensive integrated approach, when what would suit you would be a modular approach. You work 8 to 4 every day, and then you can only afford to fly after 5 or to fly on weekends. If the school cannot offer you that, then obviously that school is not well suited for you. You might want to shop around and get a school that can afford you that particular approach to flight training. The third consideration relates to money. Money talks. Know what you're getting yourself into. Ask various schools for quotations. They have to give you that. Because remember, schools are competing to get you as a student. So it's your right to approach them and say, listen, I'm interested in studying flying with you, and could you give me a quotation for training with you from beginning up to my commercial pilot license? Once you have that information, compare, what school A is offering compared to school B, and how much it will cost for you to do your training in school A versus school B. And remember, we discussed the modular approach, and we said it's a flexible approach. The schedule is flexible. It's a pay-as-you-go system. The payment schedule will also be flexible. Find out if your school has a flexible payment schedule. You don't want to find yourself stuck in there because the amount you can afford at a particular time is not acceptable to the school. So find out what their payment structure is like, and be able to accept or reject that school based on what works with your finances. Also, get an idea of the costs that will be required. To do this, you must ask the school for its average flight training and instruction hours. That will give you an idea of, okay, how many hours does it take to prepare a student to be ready for the next phase of flight? How many ground instruction hours does it really take? How many flight training hours does it really take for a student here to go solo, for a student here to do ABC? Once you have that idea in mind, you can then use the average as a guide to say, I need this much money for me to move to this level of my training. The fourth point relates to you getting reviews of the school. Speak to other fellow aviators. Go online. There are communities of aviators online. Ask questions there. Do your own research. Google the school. See what is being said about the school online. Talk to current students at the school. Talk to alumni of the school. Word of mouth is very, very powerful. The student will tell you their experience with the particular school. And I believe that the percentage of students who might want to go out there and just denigrate the name of a school is really, really negligible compared to students who would give you an honest review. People will give you an honest review of what their lived experience in a particular school was. Listen to that, factor it into your decision-making process as you begin on the process of choosing a particular school. Fifth point in choosing your school for flying relates to what I would call the infrastructure, the equipment that the school has. In other words, the fleet of aircraft that they have. How old are these aircraft? How reliable are they? How safe are they? How well maintained are they? These are questions you need to ask yourself. What type of aircraft do they have? Is it the type that you would want to train in, or would you prefer to train in a different type of aircraft? You need to ask those questions, and you can only answer those questions by actually digging deeper, going to the website of the school, talking to other aviators in aviation forums that are there online, talking to current students at the school itself. You'll get an idea of what the school has to offer you in terms of equipment for your training. But critically, ask yourself: yes, I can get my PPL from this school. I can get my private pilot license from this school. Are they also able to give me multi-engine rating? Do they have that equipment? Are they able to give me instrument rating? Do they have that capability? Do they have instructors who can, give me that, and equipment to give me that? Do they have a flight simulator, for instance, which would sort of cut down the cost of your training when you do some of your hours on the simulator and then others on a real aircraft? Can I do night rating with them? Those are the questions to ask yourself as you look around for a school that will be suitable for your career. I hope there was an informative discussion on the 5 key things to look out for when choosing a school. And if it was, please do click the like button below and continue to follow us on social media. We've put our handles on the description below. If you have not subscribed, please support the channel by subscribing and liking the videos and sharing these videos wider in your community of aviators. It's the only way we can grow the channel. We've seen some growth in the past few weeks. It's because you guys supported the channel, you like the videos, you subscribe to the videos, you urged others to subscribe, you shared the videos. It's the only way we can grow this channel, the only way we can reach the ordinary African child, the only way we can make Africa great again. I believe with your support we can do this. And remember to keep adding those hours. Whatever it is that you're busy with, keep adding those hours, because with every hour the cockpit beckons. So make sure that whether it's an hour of watching this channel, an hour of sharing this channel with others, an hour of just digging up for information on aviation, an hour of studying, an hour of flying, whatever hour you are investing in your life, keep adding those hours, because with every hour the cockpit beckons. Until next time, Angela Dube signing out and saying stay safe from COVID-19. It is not gone yet, it is still out there. Keep social distancing, keep masking off your faces, and keep sanitizing. Until next time, cheers.